Amendment 4 passed with a 64.55% yes vote in 2018. That's over 5 million people in the state of Florida who said, yes, I do believe that all people should be allowed to vote. Over 1.6 million Floridians gained their right to vote that day. Before this amendment was passed, 1 out of every 10 Floridians and disproportionately 1 out of every 5 Black Floridians was barred from the voting box. This amendment alleged that we, the voters, were helping to restore the voting rights of these people. 2020 was the first year that these felons with their newly restored right to vote were able to vote in a presidential election. However, there's a catch. The Florida legislature needed to meet to discuss legislation pertaining to this amendment, and that's where things went awry. There were two sides to this discussion, where some legislators believed that the amendment was pretty straightforward. We should now allow those with felony convictions to vote. Then there were others who thought we needed to make some adjustments and make sure the language was clear. In March of 2019, Florida legislation decided to add caveats to the amendment. On the ballot, we voted for this amendment, and I'm quoting from the ballot itself. A yes vote supported this amendment to automatically restore the right to vote for people with prior felony convictions, except those convicted of murder or a felony sexual offense, upon completion of their sentences, including prison, probation, and parole. In June of 2019, Senate Bill 7066 was signed into law by Governor DeSantis. We're making progress now, but there are still roadblocks. In SB 7066, the language included that felons could be restored their right to vote as long as they had completed all terms of their sentence, which now included full payment of restitutions, fines, fees, or costs resulting from their conviction. A felony conviction is one that stays with you for a lifetime. A person deemed a felon is most likely not going to be able to obtain a high-paying, stable job that they're able to turn into a career. Mistakes made in one's youth can and will most likely make the rest of your life one mountain to climb after another. Even those able and willing to pay their fines are unable to track down exactly what it is that needs to be paid and who it needs to be paid to. The ACLU, among others, sued to block the financial requirement, but were overruled by a federal appeals court. They claimed that this is equal to a modern-day poll tax, which was outlawed in Florida in 1937. The Florida Rights Restoration Coalition estimates that about 67,000 felons registered to vote after Amendment 4 passed. So obviously the desire to contribute is there. Some may think that someone who has committed a felony can't be someone making good decisions on the ballot, but I implore you to invoke your humanity. If a person convicted of a felony is still making bad choices, do you really think they'd take the time to register to vote? Would they do their research on state and federal officials, state amendments, and legislation to make sure they're leaving a better world for their children and grandchildren? Desmond Meade is the president of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition and a felon. In a series from the 1A, Desmond sheds light on the rights of citizens of other states, saying that in some states, even those that are currently incarcerated are granted voting rights. We're making progress in allowing those with felony convictions to vote, but there are still roadblocks to the ballot that need to be overcome. We cannot continue to perpetuate cyclical poverty and catering only towards those who have the resources to fight felony convictions or hire lawyers to get their records expunged. We can work together with the Florida chapter of the ACLU to fight this. We can write letters and contact Governor DeSantis and the Bureau of Voter Registration Services. Together, we can fight to make the world a better place, and I promise you, we're not the only ones fighting. Thank you.